Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are returning to Rule the Waves 3. We have pretty much rebuilt most of our capital ship to include spaces accommodation, which is what we need right now, but we're still not getting the helicopter thing, so I think I would want to change that. By the way, I have replaced all of our corvettes now and gotten rid of some of the older stuff, so yeah, let's dive into our thingies here and check what we can do. So let's look at the destroyers. I think we've gotten the Uranami class. I think you're spacious already. You've got decent guns. You've got a lot of surface-to-surface missiles, so that's cool. But let's look at the Uzuki class first. Right. So first of all, you do need spacious accommodation. That is a little bit bad on the weight that we've got here. Maybe we can counteract that by using just at least 2 dual launches. Yeah, that is something that we can do. We've got 5-inch guns. We could replace that with 4-inch guns. And potentially autoloaders. Autoloaders are so incredibly expensive, even if you just retrofit them. So right now we have a heavy AA factor of 12. And honestly, I think the 4-inch guns are slightly better, even potentially for some tasks. They're going to be better at auto-firing. This is pretty expensive, but the topside load still works out in our favor. Suppose we could add some mines. Suppose I would add some radar, even at level 5 if that's possible. I don't think these guys will need level 6. These guys are mostly torpedo runners. But having a couple of missiles isn't a bad thing. You know what? We could probably even get away with a couple of reloads here. On the other hand, do you really want that? No, I think honestly... No. You know what? I think our destroyers here... the philosophy we had here is these guys are not necessarily survivable, but they can dish out a lot of alpha damage. So let's see whether we can double down on that. So if we do it like this, our top side here will be a little bit of an issue. Now we could go and add aluminium. That would increase prices just a tiny bit. It would make the topside load actually decent. These guys would have a lot of punch to pack. Honestly, I like that idea. Yeah, it is a bit expensive, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, let's go ahead and design it like that. And I don't want to click that because I need to make sure that we are selecting all the right ships here. That is the 49 class, not the 49A class. Because again, these things are slightly different. And we will need to look at these ships separately. And that was a mistake here. I clicked the wrong button. Open the design for rebuild. Spacious, clear, all of these things. Add all of these things. There we go. All of them added. Level 5, aluminium. 4 autoloader. What am I missing? Why did that work out with the other thing but not here? I think that's the same. I think this is all the same. DC throws. We could probably get rid of these. Not sure whether the other guys had torpedo reloads, but they are only 3 tons. Okay, here we go. Slightly less ammo, but I'm still thinking this is a decent design. And again, lots of alpha damage, so that's really what we're looking for here. Right, so let's rebuild all of these ships. Come on, there we go. And here we go. So we're losing 6 million, but it shouldn't take too long. I mean, yeah, well, 10. There's going to be 60 million or so in total that we're going to be losing. That is not nothing. And I also want to at least look at a couple of our other ships. I should sort this by displacement. Right, so what I dislike are these smaller classes that are just around, kind of. And especially, honestly, these guys are getting a little bit on my nerve. They are pretty old, 1918. They have been rebuilt 6 years ago. You would need to be spacious. We could probably do 4-inch guns here. You have the torpedoes. You're very similar in effect to the other guys. But I guess that we can't really get enough enough launch tubes on here. Yeah, the weight remaining is a big issue. Now, honestly, I think the Itsuma classes, you're going to be scrapped. And that's going to be alright. Your time has passed, basically. You're just too old. And then the Matsuki classes, I'm not sure whether I want to keep you. It's just too much hassle to have all of these different classes around. You would need to become radar directed. This works, but maybe we can get at least 2. So if we can get this to be a decent ship, then of course we should take it. 1924. 30 years old. But I mean, this kind of works, doesn't it? Pretty cheap refit, actually. We should replace the machinery at some point, but do we need to? I mean, these guys only have single guns, and yeah, you know what? We're not going to do that because sometimes the game just pulls these guys into battles, and then we lose the battle because our ships are way too old. So yeah, I think that's going to be alright. Good. Okay, so that leaves basically only the light cruisers that we haven't looked at in detail. So let's look at the Yoshino 2. These guys are our AA cruisers. They are packed with 5-inch guns. And that's not bad. But of course you do need spacious accommodation. You do have missiles, and I think these are great, but I would also love for you guys, because you are basically an anti-air cruiser, I would love for you to have surface-to-air missiles. The weight remaining is a bit of a no-no. That basically says that's not going to work. We can get rid of this. We can probably get rid of the torpedo tubes, because you now got the rockets and the missiles, and that should work. We're still way over the top overweight. We have 47 heavy AA. If we reduce these guys to 4-inch guns, we still have better AA. You're not as good as attacking stuff. If we get you an aluminium superstructure, you'd be slightly better. Could go with more radar. That is going to cost us weight, but the top side would actually be looking a little bit better here. So I think this would kind of work. Of course, I would love to get an autoloader, but I don't think that's possible. The diesel engine. You're basically saying that you don't use torpedoes. But that's fine. Well, we need to reduce this slightly. And we can probably get a couple more reloads here. So maybe 35? No, 35 is what we have now. Sorry, maybe 30? 25? Maybe 25. 24? Okay, this is a bit iterative, but 22 it is. Right. Maybe 23 would have worked, but I think this is going to be alright. Yeah, I think I like this. Ooh, no, here's an issue. We have now too much stuff on the center line. And these guys were built on the Atlanta design, but we've got too many turrets on the center line, so we probably need to get rid of at least one turret here. And which one are we going to use? T? No, we don't need the wing turrets to move away. I think in the Atlanta class, the wing turrets were the ones to be eventually removed. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. Okay, let's get rid of W. That should now work. And that also means that we can add a lot more reloads here. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, now we've got enough weight remaining here. We should also get a reload here. That looks silly otherwise. Right, yeah, topside load works. So you are now capable of fighting off against enemy light ships by your guns and by your missiles. and thereby protect the carriers. But more importantly, you are capable of serving in the anti-air role. Lots of weight remaining, actually, but not enough for this. That would increase the heavy AA here a lot, but it would also mean that this refit is going to be 13 million, and I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, we're going to go with this and get all of our Yoshino 2 classes upgraded. We're also going to look at the Yoshino 1s. They are very similar. They're like 10% bigger. The reason for that is they're not using steam. They're not using diesel engines. They were built a little bit before that time, but still, I think sort of a similar layout here is going to be very decent here. So let's add the SAM missile in the Q spot. I think this will again tell us that stuff isn't working out. Dangerously top heavy. Yes, that is true. I'm slightly worried about using so much aluminium because that means that this is very likely to cause some issues in the future. Let's get rid of the torpedo tubes. Yeah, but it's the heavy and crowded center line. So W is going to move away here. That gives us enough weight. We're going to edit these reloads to be 35. And we can even do autoloaders here. But the cost, man, 7 million. But on the other hand, increasing that so much, I think that's worth it. I think it is. No, let's not clear all of them. Let's just delete this and that and get you double launches. Yeah, slight bit of weight. Top side is still okay. We can probably dial down on the ammo a little bit, and that spreads out the timing, I think. So yeah, let's save and finish that. And also get the Yoshino to be rebuilt. There we go. You guys should all be fine. Wait a minute, did I? No, not rebuild. Design, rebuild. No, dear God, I should have set it to spacious right away. That's silly. Oh my, I forgot completely about that. It's a pretty minimal refit, but still. Let's do it. There we go. Lots of costs. The Uranami, I think this one I think I built spaciously. Yes, I did. Okay, so let's get back to the light cruisers then. The G-Mark class, these are sort of our combat guys. 6-inch guns, 4-inch guns on dual turrets as secondaries. That all works out. Heavy AA works out, but you're more like a combat brawler. I think you're also slightly better armored. You don't have dual purpose guns, but that's fine. So, spacious. There's a lot of weight in these ships. I think we just refitted the engines relatively recently, and that would explain that. Okay, can we get new missile launches? And I'm thinking surface-to-surface missiles. And I don't think the top side here is going to work out that way. So let's dial down here. And apologies for the noise. Right, there we go. Let's dial this down 2. Slightly. No, we can do 5. I think 5 is fine. 6. You don't actually need the ASW, because you're sort of bad at that anyway. And I think that's good. Ooh, you could have improved. You could have improved guns. Well, in that case, okay, we had 1.1 million. If you improve your guns, 3.3. Yeah, I'm gonna accept that. 4.6. I am gonna go with that. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's fine. Let's rebuild them. That's almost everyone. You guys need to rebuild. We probably are gonna see some issues here with the other things there. Right. That leaves our Raider class. get you to be spacious. Your weight remaining is an issue. Your engine is starting to look a little bit bad. What are we going to do with you, though? What are we going to do with you? Let's get you aluminium. I would love to get you a helipad. Right now you only have a seaplane hangar basically. Or more precisely, you've got a single seaplane on a forward centerline swivel. You've got a couple of missiles, but not really that much. And the weight is kind of an issue. We could reduce the main caliber here. But honestly... Okay, I think this guy is gonna need to wait until we get other stuff. We're gonna mothball him. Oh no, you're on foreign service, you can't be mothballed. Right, okay, that makes sense. Then we've got this ship, so what can you do right now? Let's get you spacious. You've got very little here to work with. So I think we'd need to get you smaller guns to make up for the weight. You do need an engine refit. Okay, so let's look at that again. Replace the engine. Get to... Yeah, diesel is slightly better. We've got dual purpose 5-inch guns. Probably the 4-inch guns would even be better. Not quite. We would need to make this radar directed. Give you a little bit more of that. We've got very little weight. You are light cruiser. You've got 4.5 thousand tons. You're more of a destroyer lead at this point. You are. You truly are. Maybe at least 2 double turrets. Yeah, but the weight. On the other hand, if we do it like this. Wait a minute. I think there was a slight bug here in the calculation of the costs. Let's try that again. So if we give you that and this, rebuild costs are very minimal. Let's replace that. 7 million. Diesel 7.5. 4-inch guns 9.2. Autoloaders. Yeah, that changes by 1 million. If I click autoloader and unclick it again, that's a little bit annoying. That should not happen. It should always be the same cost. Right, replace machinery, diesel, 10.1. I think we got different costs if we did it differently. That's really kind of odd. Okay, yeah, I do actually need the spacious stuff. Right, that would work. We cannot give you reloads because we don't have the top side. If we got aluminium though, which is pretty minimal costs, that still works, doesn't it? No. Top side. No, it works. Don't need these light guns anyway. Okay, so for 10 million, we are gonna do this. It's not the best ship, but we are gonna do it. She's been around since 1913. She's really, really ancient at this point. It would have probably been a better choice just to build her. But oh my. Insufficient ships on foreign station. No, we shouldn't keep that. Let's put you are actually on that duty already. Let's get you then. No, yeah, 2 man. No, one of these guys. You, in fact. Foreign station. There we go. And notice our fleet morale is slightly lower because there was a purge of naval officers. That is, ooh. Now this is interesting. We've got heavy surface-to-air mounts now. Of course, we've just refitted everything, but just out of curiosity, do we see what that actually does? So... do a heavy SAM on R. And let's do a medium SAM on L. So obviously the heavy one is much heavier. I don't know. Do we know anything about these guys? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. So what's your range and stuff? We don't know that. Interesting. Let's see whether we will build a dedicated anti-air platform. Maybe in the form of a heavy cruiser? Maybe in the form of Tokunawa 3 class or something? No, sorry, not Tokunawa. Yoshino 3 class. I don't know. Interesting choice. We'll see. But you know what? I think for now, I'm going to put in a cut and I'm going to advance time a little bit and see what's going to happen. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like and I'll see you around next time.